I can't believe how late everybody is for this meeting.
Late.
We expect you to be on time. Alexandra, how could you do this to us?
Hello. I swear I completely forgot about this meeting, and I'm sure I saw this morning that it said it was on at 18:30 GMT.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I swear I saw that, and then I've just
No.
sort of like gone to the thing now, and it said 6 GMT, and it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so you need to get some better reading glasses there, Alexander, because it said 1800 the entire time.
Really?
Nobody mistakenly typed 1830 on the Solarchat forum. That is impossible. That could never have happened. It is not my fault. Okay, so you should have read that more closely, because we were all waiting here for Alexander to show up before we did anything, because you're the most famous star of the meeting. So. And there's Arnie. Arnie has a really popular group on Facebook. If anybody's on Facebook, it's called Solar Photography, and it's fun to watch Arnie's group because it's all people that are just starting, mostly, and they're all doing the same exact thing we've been doing for the last 15 years. But every one of them thinks they discovered it, and that they're the first person to do it. And it's really fun to watch and read the comments. And I really like the group. And every time I see that, that inverted orange sun, I think of Alan Friedman, who invented all that, and how he must be so tired of seeing people come up on social media and say, look what I just invented, and doing that process for the same exact thing. But welcome to this month's Solarchat meeting. We're glad to have you. Some of us have been here for an hour. But again, I want to emphasize that it's an impossibility that the time was posted incorrectly on the Solarchat forum. That never happened. Okay, never. So, Alexandra, please take the meeting and tell us what you got this week, and see if you got anything good to talk about. And I am going to stop talking.
Oh my goodness, I've got nothing. I'm just having a complete tears because I didn't realize what time it was.
Oh, it was clearly typed on the forum. No mistakes were made. It was absolutely clearly typed.
Honestly, I swear I saw it was 1830.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
You have to be careful who's got chances to change things in the forum. That's the problem.
There's only 2 of us here, and it wasn't me. So I'm just telling you.
I think I have I have a screen capture somewhere.
No, you don't. No. It will say 1800.
I posted a screen capture on the chat.
Yeah.
So has anybody got any burning questions this week, apart from times? And Brian says that he's in Ireland this week, so he's actually in this time zone, but holidaying. So I think he's going to watch later.
Probably off to a distillery.
I actually had set up to go ahead and have my CAK set up, and then I realized that the meeting wasn't for another hour, so now it's in the shade, so forget it.
Well, yeah, it's nice to see that you've got some sunshine here this week.
There's a little behind me, a little behind me.
Yeah, it's just been cloudy and raining as normal. I don't know whether it's been better up in Preston, Stuart.
No, definitely not. It's been awful.
It's been better in Australia either for the last few days. It's raining.
Yeah, but it is winter, so that's allowed.
Yeah, I guess that's just have to put up with it.
I'm sure that this year is probably one of the cloudiest years ever.
I would say so. Yeah.
We had a good May and June, and July has been proven to be the wettest on record here in Ireland.
Really?
And August has just been a little better, but still quite mixed.
It's funny because usually when Brian comes, he always brings the best weather ever. Because I think that when he went to Scotland, I think they had their biggest heat wave ever. And I was sort of like telling Brian, oh, you need to get your your galoshes, your Macs, your Wellington boots and everything, and bring that. And I think it was something like 30-degree heat when he was there, and he couldn't believe it. So Michael, I think you'll be in for a good week, I think, because Brian's here.
Hopefully, I'm hoping to meet him towards the end of next week, all going well. Would be good to meet him in person. So he's enjoying a tour of the south and west coast at the moment. So yeah, he'll have a nice trip.
So
I
is
presume
there?
he's going to Galway.
Pardon?
I presume he's going to Galway, is he?
I don't think he's going as far as Galway. He's going up
Oh.
the west coast as far as Clare, see the cliffs of Moher, and then he's going across the Midlands back to Dublin.
Ah, right, okay.
But yeah, no, it's hard to take it all in just 1 week. But he has a nice itinerary.
Mhm.
The weather cooperates any bit at all, it'll be a good trip.
Do you think the weather will be okay this week?
Not too bad, a little mix. There's some showers around, but it's not. I mean, it's pleasant enough temperature. It's dry most of the time, but there are the odd day with showers here and there, but not too bad. It could be worse. You're never guaranteed a dry weekend here in Ireland, so it's about as good as it gets.
Steve's got a light snack there by the look of it.
Yeah.
Oh, hi everyone. Yes, I baked up a batch of Yorkshire pudding and tea for our meeting, and I'd love to share them with you if you'd like one.
Can we have the virtual 0-calorie version, please, Stephen? Thanks.
Color reversal, right? Yes. I want to type. You're welcome on all those posts.
Yeah.
But you
I will
can't eat
say,
Yorkshire puddings with tea.
I'm actually drinking Diet Coke in an English tea cup.
Healthier choice.
Notice the pinky in the correct position. Mind your head, governor. How's that? Is that pretty good? Yeah.
That doesn't look like Diet Coke.
It is.
It looks a bit flat.
Yeah, I don't drink. It's Diet Coke. So on the forum, I was going to share with you. Last week, or last month, it seemed like a great idea to limit the types of files we could upload, because one user wanted us to disallow TIFFs from being uploaded. So all because of Alexandra, I had nothing to do with it. We removed all the available file types to upload except JPEG, PNG, and some other image file. But unknowingly, we also made it so where anyone who's ever uploaded anything other than that was removed from their post. So all the Excel spreadsheets, any text documents, any research, any PDFs, etc., all got removed from the post. So, and again, it was all Alexander's fault. Okay, she tells me what to do, and I do it. So we went back in and added back in the file types as best we could, and the posts did come back for the most part. The attachments, that is, came back and were attached. I'm trying to pull up our stats right now. Let me see if I can share this screen real quick. I mean, unless somebody has a presentation to do, I was just going to go over a couple of things with you, business-wise. Let me see here. Share screen. Okay, there. So you should be seeing my Solarchat screen.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Beautiful
that.
sketch, by the way.
Just got your desktop now.
Yeah. So we're at 386,000 posts, 40,000 topics, 3,500 members.
Steve, you can just
We're
see
just
that.
seeing you. Yeah, you're just seeing your desktop.
Oh, okay. Well, hang
Which
on a
is a
minute.
mess too, by the way.
It is. I know it's horrible. Let's see. Share screen. Okay. So how about now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got 386,000 posts. And it always says there's 194 users online, or some humongous number. But in reality, most of those are bots, search crawlers, and websites send out bots to copy all the text from everybody's websites and then put them into an index for search engines. So in reality, we probably have about 3 registered users online right now. The forum is going quite well. Deep Solar, James is our top thinker of people, followed by Mark in Montana. The forum space is basically unlimited. But anyway, I put back. I was going to show you that, but I put back the file types that were most commonly used, like Excel and PDF. And I apologize to anybody that had any attachments removed from their posts. They should be back now. And as far as money goes, we're fine on the forum. We don't need any money for anything. And the next fundraiser will be in October, and I'm going to grab everyone and stick them by their ankles as usual until your euros fall out. And then we sent, we have 2 eclipses coming up here in the U.S. So I sent 20,000 pairs of glasses to a guy named Clay Sherrod in Arkansas. Some of you may have heard of him. They call him Dr. Clay, and he's a guy that rebuilds telescope mounts for a living, and he runs the Arkansas Sky Observatory. So some people used to get their mounts supercharged by Dr. Clay, but he wrote me an email saying how he was going to do all these free events and go all around Arkansas and his neighboring states to do solar eclipse events and help arrange them. And I said, yeah, I'm happy to support you. And I sent him all these glasses. And I said, the only thing you can't do is sell them. And he said, okay. I said, they have to be given away free. Well, it turns out he is selling them. So he's having these meetings with city planners. And when I asked him about it, he said, well, I'm not selling the glasses. I'm just charging them, $3,000 for me to come to their town and show them how to do an event. And then I'm giving them some glasses to start with. So that's how that worked. And then another 15,000 glasses went to Brazil to Dr. Marcelo Salza. If you've never heard of him, he runs the International Meeting of Astronomy and Aeronautics every year in Brazil. And they have got an unbelievably vibrant group down there. It's all young people in graduate school or undergraduate studies doing astronomy outreach all over Brazil. And I've been there a couple of times, and he's super worthy. So your donor money is supporting that for shipping. Everything you send to Brazil, there's a customs charge of 100% of the value of the item. So whatever the customs agent says it's worth, that's what they charge you to get it into the country. So even if I give him something free, $5,000 worth of solar glasses, he has to pay $5,000 in custom fees to get it, which means I pay it. So basically, I'm getting the glasses from Rainbow Symphony and then buying them again when I give them to the guy in Brazil, and also paying $800 to ship them there. So that's the kind of things that our donor money goes to. Kosovo, with our affiliate there, Pranvera Iceni, some of you know her from Facebook. She's a big selfie queen. When I was there last, we met with the president of Kosovo and the Minister of Education and arranged for Kosovo's first ever astronomical observatory to be built in the country, which was a big deal. And that has finally happened, and they're just about to the finishing point in construction of this observatory. For those of you that don't know about Kosovo, it's just east of Bosnia, north of Albania. It used to be Yugoslavia before the Cold War. And it was formed in 2008. So it's a very new country. It's full of young people that have lots of college degrees because education is free, but there's no jobs. So she and her group there are opening the first ever public observatory. And it's thanks to us, most of it, because I did the negotiating with the president and got the funding. And then we use a lot of our funds to send telescopes and things over to them. So thank you, those of you that support the program. And thank you, those of you that don't support the program. I appreciate the good words. So that's where a lot of the money is going. They're going to have a ceremony in April of next year to dedicate the observatory. And I told them, don't use my name on it. Just, name it after somebody else. Name it something else. I don't want my name on it. So, but the web fees are all paid up through the end of next year. So we're doing pretty good on that. Does anybody have any nonprofit related questions or forum issues that they want to yell at me about so I can ignore them? So I can work on them? Is everybody happy with their forum speed?
Yes, it's
Great.
fine.
Is anybody else in Australia besides Ralph? Because Ralph was on our meeting.
I don't know where Peter is. He said he was going to join it anyway.
Well, it's 4 a.m.
Probably.
Yeah,
4
probably.
a.m. there. So we owe Ralph a big thanks for getting up and joining us. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much the business side of it. And again, we're going to do another fundraiser in October. And I've got 3 telescopes here that I'm going to give away to somebody, hopefully some group that's doing outreach. So if any of you have local groups that you're interested in or that you think should be supported, I wish you'd let me know. As far as solar glasses go, Rainbow Symphony, our sponsor that gives us a discounted rate on solar glasses, is apparently having some kind of problem, and they are not able to provide solar glasses for the foreseeable future. And I think what's happened is that the Daystar company, you know, Jen Winter over at Daystar, has started making and selling solar glasses, and that's added some competition that they weren't aware of. And there's one other company in Tennessee here that makes and sells solar glasses. But Rainbow Symphony has been our sponsor since 2008, since we started. But something's going on, and they're not able to do any sponsorship right now. So I don't have any solar glasses to give away. I have 600 pair that I have in my garage that I promised my aunt in Marblehead, Ohio, that I was going to bring up there and give out to everybody up there for the total solar eclipse next year. And that's all that I have. So right now I can't send any glasses anywhere, but we're hoping that Rainbow Symphony can get it back together and get some more glasses to us. You can't even buy them from them right now, even at full price. Okay. So that's pretty much all I got for right now. Does anybody have any questions about the nonprofit, or would anyone like to go ahead and pledge, $30,000 today or online? I mean, 20,000 is okay too, but I'm hoping for 30. You know. Ralph. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just send you a check.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, well then I'll be quiet again and let
The
you guys
river
do
one.
what you- And that's it for me.
So what does everybody think about Christian's sunspot colours? I'm desperate to have a go at imaging with my colour camera, but I can't get my colour camera to work apart from with the horrible program that comes with FLIR, that fly capture or whatever it is, and it'll only record in like AVIs as well. It's really horrible, but it's the only thing I can get to work. But I just wish I could get some sunshine. Desperate to try it, because it doesn't seem like many people have a colour camera.
Well, I have, but why would you use a color camera for solar?
It's so that you can see what the temperature is in the sunspot.
Oh, okay. All right.
So what he's doing is actually imaging it, not for, like beauty and aesthetics, like we take, images of the sun so that they're absolutely beautiful. This is, so it's in colour without any colour filter. So you're just doing it with either the Barder wedge or just with the solar filter, not with a continuum filter or a G-band filter, just the whole white light spectrum, taking it with a colour camera. And then the different sunspots, you should be able to, if you calibrate the granulation as white, you should be able to see a colour in the sunspot. And he's provided like a colour scale of temperature. And I think there's only one person so far who's managed it.
Yeah, completely different to what I first thought when you said that. And I was thinking to myself, Alexandra's been around long enough not to know that you can't really do H alpha with a coloured camera. But yeah, okay, that's completely different.
Yeah, it's something I've not even thought about before.
Oh.
It would take quite a calibration process, would it not? I haven't seen his post, but so because I was going to ask a question actually on what color we should be using for the sun, because we think of the sun as yellow when it is near the horizon, but that's due to the scatter of light, whereas the sun is actually white or very near white if we don't have an atmosphere. So if he is indicating that we can calibrate off the granulation as white. I'd be interested to know how he's doing that.
I think he does explain it on the post a bit, but
Mm.
it's not something that I quite understand because I'm not used to using a colour camera. What I've done, the only imaging I've ever done with my colour camera is look at Jupiter, Saturn and Mars. And all I've done is sort of like calibrated in post-processing what I think the colour should be. Because I've seen so many pictures of Mars and Jupiter, I have in my head what I think that Jupiter should look like, but I'm not quite entirely sure what the sun really should look like. I would have thought it would have been more of a creamy white, but is that true?
Well, I did the observation with my wedge, because I don't have a color camera either, but I had reported that it looked to me the sun was a vellum color.
What's vellum? I've never heard of vellum.
It's kind of a yellowish white.
Oh, right, okay.
Yellowish white, and the penumbras definitely had a brownish tint, but then the umbra were black, at least to my eyes. And Christian had mentioned that then in his it was similar till he got, but he had higher resolution, and then he would see a dark brown in the umbra, which made sense to me because I was only on my 80 millimeter. I have the photographic film on my 6-inch, so I'm not going to put my eye to that. And I don't have a color camera either, so I couldn't judge it that way.
But are you using a UV IR cutoff filter, blocking filter?
Yeah.
So it's just visible. Then.
But I figured with the wedge, there were no filters that way. So I didn't, I wasn't using continuum or a red filter or anything like that. Just looking at it in white.
Yes, I think it's got to be with no other filters, but I'm not sure whether you could. I think you probably could use a UV and an infrared filter, but he wanted, like the full spectrum in the color region. So I'm really, really interested to do it. There's just never any sunshine at a weekend. It's driving me mad.
I mean, it's a black body emitter anyway, isn't it? So you should just be able to calculate the spectrum, and then that gives you an idea of the color. It's just going to be slightly redder than the granulation because it's cooler.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it depends on the size of the sunspot as well. Whether the larger sunspots are more of a different color than the smaller ones, or whether they're all the same. I don't know. Are the larger ones cooler?
That's what I would expect. Yeah, the larger one. I mean, you'll have your umbra and penumbra, but at the very center, I would expect that'll be the coolest.
I shall have a look next time I'm up there.
Have you got a colour camera, Ralph?
Yeah, 2 or 3 if you want. I'll send you one.
Yeah, I've got one. I just need to be able to make it work. I just don't understand why I can't get it to work with fire capture anymore.
Well, that's weird. It should just accept it.
It works. It sort of like opens up, but what I get is like a weird 6 squares crosshatch in the live view. But when I go into like the debayer section, it's all grayed out. So I can't pick which debayer to use. But when I actually press record and then look at the recording back, it's in color and it's perfect. But the fact that I've got no live view means that it would be impossible to actually focus on a sunspot to know what actually you're looking at. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit odd.
Have you tried Sharp Cap?
I've never tried that. No, I haven't got that on the computer. Is that worth trying? do you think?
Well, I hadn't really bothered about it. I did download it some time back, but Peter Marples actually convinced me to persist with it, and I really like it now. But that may not solve your issue. What type of camera is it?
It's an FLIR.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I don't
It
know.
used to work.
But I just don't understand why the live feed would be blocked out, but yet it's debayering itself once the capture's done.
Yeah, I don't know whether that though is auto stack art is actually picking a debayer for it. I think. I
It
think
could
that
well,
might be.
so if it's set to auto, it'll find its own way.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got to find the camera's own way in fire capture by selecting the correct debayer pattern.
Yes, but it won't let me because it's grayed
Oh.
out in the program.
Oh,
That's the
Does it
big
drive?
problem.
Does the driver need updating or something like that? Don't know.
Well, the driver, it says is all up to date. And like I say, I
Right.
can put it on to fly capture. It works fine.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
all right.
You tried
Well,
an earlier version of fire capture?
Yeah, and it still won't do it. And yeah,
Done.
I always used to use it like 6 years ago in fire capture.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a way around that, obviously. So just use fire capture to focus the camera and then swap over to fire capture and do your recordings. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
obviously that's not the best way to handle everything, but if there's an issue on one side, you can get around it. So at least you'll know the camera's focused, and then you can go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Well done.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I do anyway, for the time being. But there must be a reason.
Top tip. Thanks, Ro. Yeah, that's
Crack.
brilliant.
Yeah, have a crack. And then
Yeah, I'll do
get
that.
you started. Yeah,
Right, so just need the sun now.
yeah. Well, so do we. So
Can you send some of that as well?
now it's raining here now. So, but I wanted to do an animation of 3394 on the limb, which will be now today, but there'll be no chance, unfortunately. Anyway, because we haven't got very many big sunspots. It
Yeah.
is starting to heat up. I remember our conversation from last month when I sort of disagreed with you that I thought last Solar Max was better. I did a bit of research on that. And in fact, we had, I was going to say last apparition, last Solar Max, we had 2 sunspots that went around twice and several that went around and came back at least once, which hasn't happened this time.
Well,
Yes.
we certainly know that those 2 big ones that we've had recently, they've come back round and gone round again. Thing
Have
is, you
they?
start to lose track. So
Okay, well, I missed that, unfortunately.
they should be coming because I think it was it 50, 54 and
Yeah, okay. They're about
67.
due back here.
Both of those have gone round twice, but I've lost track of them now to know when they should be coming back round on for a 3rd time. So I'm not quite sure.
Well,
I need to go and calculate them again.
Well, perhaps I was a little hasty in my summation.
Those 2, I know definitely because I was waiting for them to come round. So I know that those 2 have definitely done it twice.
Yeah, well, in 2012 or 14, whatever it was, yeah, there were several that did that. But, you know, mate, I think we're just spooling up at the moment. I think it'll get better for the next 12 months or so and then start to fall off the graph, I suppose.
I hope so. It's gone a little
I-
bit quiet again now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has just a little bit, but something will turn up shortly.
But if you notice in the graph, it goes sort of like up and then down, and then up higher and then down. I think we're in one of those little troughs at the moment, and then
Yeah.
hopefully it'll push up higher again.
And what is the reason for that? Do we know?
I've no idea. It's almost like it breathes in and out, isn't it?
Hmm.
The sun gods are having some of Stephen's cupcake things or whatever he's got. Well, he hasn't eaten them all yet. Almost though.
It's they were Yorkshire puddings.
I beg your pardon, it's Yorkshire pudding. Yeah.
Oh,
The Yorkshire puddings, are they?
Need some roast beef.
Alexander, I was
Yeah.
reading about your issue on Stargazer's Lounge while I was muted, and not several, but two people over there said they changed their cameras to 8-bit and alleviated that problem. So maybe you can switch your bit depth while you're in fire capture and see if that has anything to do with it.
Oh, right, okay.
They said that by default their camera was recording in 16-bit and previewing in 16-bit, and when they changed to 8-bit, that problem went away.
Ooh,
try
I'll
that.
have a look at that then. That's another tough tip.
Who fixes? Yeah.
And I can tell you, 16-bit is 100% useless versus 8-bit in any photography. Just so you know, the 60% of the image in the bit depth at 16-bit is shades of white. In DSLR photography, and some of the lectures I give for DSLR photography, I researched that area thoroughly because a 16-bit raw image from my Canon camera will be 24 megabytes, and an 8-bit raw image will be 8 megabytes. And after careful examination, there's zero difference until you get all the way almost to white. And the extra 8 bits record the tiniest differences between shades of white. So what I'm saying is when you go from a 16-bit to an 8-bit image, it makes no difference whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm not used to using, well, I don't use this color. I've got this one color camera that I bought quite a long time ago just to look at, the planets. And so I'm not used to using color.
It's probably a 12-bit camera if it's from PGR,
Right.
from FLIR. And if you're recording at 16-bit, it shouldn't work.
I need
It
to
doesn't
check.
matter if you record at 16 or 8 bits because your camera's not capable of more than 12 bits. So.
Right.
I need to have a look at that. That might be it.
Speaking of spots too, earlier I noticed when I had the CAK out, there is a new one coming around on the southeast limb. I just noticed it this morning.
Excellent.
Good to know.
Pretty good sized one too.
Oh, is it, Warren? Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was. I had been doing what you were trying to do on the. Yeah, you can just. But it's that where you see that kind of arc on the southeast. I was
The
southeast.
southeast.
That's southwest. There's southeast.
That's it.
There's a spot there now. There was earlier this morning.
It looks like there's a little bit of a brightening in the northern bit just above the equator as well, doesn't there?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's my favorite color for calcium K.
That does look good.
These are all extreme UV, but
I should pull it. I should process my picture. I think it'll show better.
I've tried to use that color before, and it looks horrible on a computer.
Check
so here's the
check the white light one. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Now you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one see, that's a pretty good size one.
Yeah. Oh well, that means then technically for next weekend he should be in the middle, ready for me to use my color camera.
There you go.
So I need to book the sun in for next Saturday.
Exactly. Just need the weather now.
Yeah, nothing on the continuum.
Oh, there is. You can see it.
Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, a little bit. Right there.
Yep.
Oh, and it looks like there's a new active region as well up in the.
That one shows it the best.
So a little new one forming as well in the northeast.
Look at that 94. I'm going to miss 94 on the limb. Oh well.
Oh yeah, because it is just on the limb.
Yeah. It might come back around, Alexandra, I reckon.
It will.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about this one?
I just had a look at Gong. Gong's been notoriously inadequate of late. What is going on? Does anybody know?
No, there's been so many of them offline for so many days. The only one right now, what's LTD, I think.
Yeah.
Are they all coming to the end of their lifetimes? Because that's
Mhm.
what's going. Because
Perhaps
they've
so.
been going for years.
Yeah, but they were always reliable. Hardly ever out of commission, but now they're always out of commission, and it's
Probably
it's
the
a
usual
great
thing.
day
Like
when a
funding.
couple of them are working.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Probably a lack of funding or something. It's the usual thing, isn't it? People
yeah,
run out of money.
more
Yeah,
than likely, Stuart.
yeah.
They
That's what
require
I
a lot
was
of
saying.
maintenance. I've visited the Gong site at a couple of places, and they're not what you might expect them to be. They're really just barely hanging on,
Yeah.
and required somebody to mess with it at least every other day to keep it going.
Yeah, I thought as much. And they don't have the messing around person anymore. I
Right.
guess they're tied up.
Funding for the messer arounder has probably been reduced.
That's how they advertise the job, is it? Wanted messing
Professional
around.
messer arounder, $8 an hour. Inquire with him.
Yeah.
Must pass a drug test. That's what keeps them out, because you can't get anybody to pass a drug test in this country anymore. Sean, what's going on over there?
Not a whole lot. Trying to just not melt every time I go outside. It's
It is
brutal.
hot here in Atlanta. It is brutal. We were at the Marsh House for several weeks, and it was so hot we couldn't stand it anymore. So we came back here, and it was hotter here than it was there.
Wow.
So, I mean, we've got to be at least over 40 today, and the humidity was 100% at the Marsh, and it's about 80% here. So when you walk outside, it feels just like you're walking into a sauna.
Yeah,
And
that
you're,
really kills it.
and it's hard to breathe. It's the air is so thick and wet, it's hard to breathe, and you're immediately covered in sweat as soon as if I go on the patio, you're just immediately covered in sweat.
I get covered in it just thinking about going outside.
Yeah, it is really tough, and everybody's just standing around watching it happen. Hawaii's on fire. The bird species we've never seen before are currently up here in Atlanta. We're having limpkins, which is a species that you would never see this far north, and now they're all over the place. Yeah, it's interesting to watch all the changes.
Yeah, and it's happening so fast. That's the thing.
And worldwide, it's not just one region.
No.
Right, it's worldwide. So.
And it's the oceans as well. I mean, those temperatures are just crazy as well.
Yeah, I read they measured 102 degrees Fahrenheit off Key West in the water last week.
Wow.
Or it would normally be 80, 85.
Yeah, all the algae's bleaching, or all the corals bleaching there,
Yeah.
and they're trying to collect parts of it and grow it out of the ocean to hopefully repopulate it here soon.
May not have been the best time to buy a house on the Atlantic coast, because that super hot water means super strong hurricanes.
Mm.
So if I die, Alexandra, the forum is yours.
Don't say that.
If I get swept away, know that I love all of you, and the forum belongs to Alexandra.
Have you had many hurricanes this year? Because I've not heard.
Just the season, I think, is like June to September, and it's always the worst in September.
Okay.
So if it's warm now, it could get quite active the next couple of months.
Yeah, and of course, it's fed by surface temperature of the water. So we'll see. Who's that driving the car down there watching this? You be safe now.
I am. My name's
Alexander.
Alexander, and yeah, I saw that meeting was happening today, finished my morning obligation. So I figured I'd kind of hop in on trying to get more active in a couple solar communities. I'm a physics undergrad out here in San Diego, and I'm actually kind of happy to say that a couple weeks ago, I spent 2 weeks up in Mount Wolfson doing a little solar physics summer school, and I got to use the Snow Solar Telescope to have some fun doing a simple research project. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to join up on the forum if you haven't already, and maybe post a little bit about what you're doing, man. We would love to have that.
I need to get myself more in the habit of, going on different forums and being more engaged, because I'm a little bit of a loner to myself, and I'm trying to force myself to get out there. So
Well, just come on and browse around, because we kind of pride ourselves in our forum for not having any bullshit, no fighting, no stupid posts. It's just all people that really love sunlight, and we'd love to have you, man. I'm glad to finally see you in person. I know we've talked a lot on Facebook before.
yeah, I actually had fun taking Henry's 70D up to Wilson with me. So it's fun kind of playing around with it up there. So it's already getting good use out of it.
Yeah, he bought my friend's DSLR camera. Harry was also an air traffic controller with me in Atlanta, and he's retired now too. But good, fantastic. Do you have a solar telescope, Alexander?
So I do not have a solar telescope myself. The equipment that I did have last, I actually had an unfortunate situation that I think you had a couple years ago, where somebody was able to break into my garage and steal my equipment. So I lost my Daystar, I lost my Canon, and the Daystar was actually given to me by Pat Boyce, a guy who runs an educational group out here. But we had gotten that from the Kate experiment with the NSO as one of the volunteer sites up in Madras. So yeah, I had an essential white light set up for checking out the sun, and it was just the perfect little thing, but got stolen a while ago, and I'm just now building up my whole entire accessory kit again. So looking to get myself a telescope, although I'm kind of lucky because I work at my college in the physics department, and we have a pretty good astronomy program. So we do have some some HA lunts. We have a couple Dobbs with little solar filters on it. So I got things I can utilize at work to enjoy looking at the sun if I wanted to. But
all right, well, good. If there's anything we can do to help, we probably will. But our forum is argument free, and we think it's the best one on the net. So come join us.
Wonderful, we'll do, and I'll make sure to give myself a proper introduction. Stop dragging
no
my feet.
porn. Don't be posting any porn on our site, though. Okay.
It's wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see you.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here. And while I enjoy joking around, I am not an immature person and don't do dumb stuff like that. So don't expect anything exciting from me in that respect.
Ah, visual is good.
It'd be nice to just to see what you're doing. Would be interesting for all of us. So.
All right. I'm going to hit mute as I park right now. I'm just hitting up my local farmer's market.
All right, very good.
Is that a live view, Alexandra, from your back garden? Or is that just wallpaper? You're outside. Okay.
Well, I'm not outside. I'm in the conservatory, but it's raining. It's raining.
Oh, okay. All right. It looks better.
Those are real plants, though. That's not a painting. That's your actual garden.
Yeah, that's my sunflowers.
That's
the only sun I've been able to get to see.
I'm trying to grow those at the moment. So yeah, mixed success. They really need a lot of sunshine.
They do. Yeah, mine are quite small and disappointingly small.
And how are you supporting them? You have little sticks in the ground to strap them as it grows up.
Yeah, but I sort of like only try and attach them just by one little wire. So actually they've been blowing around, you know, like in the gales that we've had in the last couple of weeks, and it seems to strengthen their, you know, stalk quite a bit. So
by allowing it to move.
Yes.
Interesting.
So it's a bit like when you plant a tree. If you only sort of like attach one little bit and let it rock around, it seems to strengthen the actual stem a bit, and then they seem to be a little bit tougher for the slugs. they don't seem to quite like to eat them as much.
Yes, very good. Nature, how it can adapt when you allow it to. Interesting.
Yes.
And that is sunlight. Just indirect sunlight. That's what my nature part of the program is all about.
What,
So
slugs?
yeah,
Slugs.
that anything. We talk about anything that comes from the sun, which is everything. And the nature hikes we do, we point out all the different ways everything's related to the sun and sunlight.
Well, yeah, sunflowers are fantastic because if you watch them during the day,
Yeah,
they
they
sit
follow it
and
around.
they just follow the sun all the way around. So the plant knows exactly where the sun is. It seems to be even on a cloudy day, they seem to be able to move around as well, which I find strange. So I don't know how they do it.
You'll have to give us a long exposure image, Alexandra, with your camera once you have it up and running. You just a day long exposure. We'll see how the
A time lapse.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing where the sun is.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to have a meeting next month just as normal? I'm sorry that I screwed up the times this month. My apologies. It will always be 1800 Z.
1800.
And no matter what you read, no matter how bad Alexandra messes up the message on Facebook or on Solarchat, it will always be 1800. Just so you know, as long as I'm alive. But so we'll just
I'll
keep
be on
going.
holiday next month, so
Okay.
I'll be here.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, we'll do it
be
again
here.
next month then. Maybe we can get somebody to work out maybe a little slideshow or something. I don't know. Whatever you feel like doing. I enjoyed just talking to you, but I know something will come here.
I've got that CAK shot if you want to look at it.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's see.
Yeah, Warren, you accidentally put it up a while ago. I was a bit interested.
Oh, let's see if you can see it here. Can you see it?
Well,
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
we've
that's
got it
nice.
now.
Yeah.
And here's that.
Oh yes, just see it. Yeah.
There's that spot, and that's that lighter area. I think you were noticing, Alexandra.
Mm-hmm.
Page.
The spot's actually above that.
Is this live or is this a still photo?
No, this is on IMPPG. I just quickly put it up there real quick.
Okay. God, that's beautiful.
You haven't done much to it.
Yeah. No, I just pulled it in. It's probably too sharpened, but
yeah, if you could put a fake IFS on there, you'd probably get an APOD.
There you go.
And the James Webb, just for good measure.
Yeah, just put them all on.
Perhaps for next month, do we want to have a topic of the annular eclipse maybe coming up in October? Or
Oh yes.
that'd be
Oh yeah,
amazing.
you're going to be our live person in the field, aren't you?
I will be in the field. Not sure what I'll have in terms of internet connection or anything, but yeah, it'll be good. I'm just wondering, and if anyone else is traveling, I mean, if locations were to suit, I don't mind meeting up. But
Where are you going to be, Michael?
flying into Vegas, and I'll be traveling. I'll be in just outside Monument Valley for it.
Okay.
I noticed there's a lot of people booking up accommodation and car rentals and everything. So I'm surprised, just given it's an annular, there still seems to be a lot of bookings going on. And in fact, for Monument Valley for that day, they've specifically changed the booking to first come, first served.
Oh boy.
Right. I booked mine. I've got a house rental right outside of Austin, Texas for the annular. Me and some friends are going to make the drive out and see what we can see. Hopefully we'll have clear weather.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see. Obviously it's a longer event. It's not the same as a total with just a couple of minutes, and you have it's a bit different. A number of people will be traveling near the edge of the path more to capture, say, the shape of the lunar edge and all that kind of activity. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be in
John,
a
you feel
similar
like-
location for the total.
Feel like putting together a few slides and just talk about it, because I know that you're a genius and you're an excellent presenter. And
There it is.
you're always so quiet on here, but I know Sean personally, and he's an absolutely fascinating guy to listen to. If you can stand the Southern accent, maybe you could whip up a couple slides and just talk about the past and what's going to happen.
Sure, I can do that.
You think you could do that?
Excellent.
Yep.
Cool.
I know it's an inconvenience, and I know you still have a full-time job.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool because I want everyone else to know what an outstanding person you are.
All right. Yeah, we can work on that.
I'm sweet on you, you know that.
I know.
Well, good. Then that's what we'll do next week then, or next month. We'll do that, and it'll be 1800 GMT. Okay.
What
The second
date is
Sunday
All
of the
right.
month.
Sounds good.
What date is that, Stephen?
Oh God. Hold on.
That'll
I'm
be
gonna screw
the
this up
10th,
too.
10th of September.
Let's see.
The 10th.
Yeah.
September 10th. Yeah, you're right. September 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern time for me and Sean. And you can even am I gonna be? I probably won't be in Atlanta that weekend. I was gonna say I'd come over to your place, so you can come to my place and do it from here. But I think
Yeah.
I'll be at the Marsh House. And you're welcome to come to the Marsh House anytime you want. Yeah, so September 10th at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Sounds good.
We'll have a little talk about the annular eclipse. Boy, that's a great shot.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Whenever we're sharing that, thank you.
that was Arnie's.
Yeah, like I said, Arnie's
was-
new Facebook group is really good. I really like it. I think you
I
should
don't-
all, if you're on
I-
Facebook, get on there and join it.
I don't have any Facebook group, Stephen. I
What?
think you're
I thought you were the guy that ran that group.
no. You're mixing me with somebody else. I think
No, your photos are always on it, man.
I'm posting on different groups, but I don't have any.
Okay, well, hang on a minute. I'm going to figure this out then. This whole time I thought you were the one that started the group. That's why I joined it.
Okay. So, I just shared my calcium K image from today. Just I think 1 hour prior to Warren's shot.
Solar photography. All right, I'm looking
Yeah,
for it. Hang on.
you could see that new one on yours too.
Yeah, so we
Arnie.
have the
Yeah.
Yeah.
new one over here.
Wait a minute. How do I have a group called Solar Photography? Okay. Wait a minute.
You've been hacked, Stephen. You've been hacked.
Really?
Yeah, this is really weird because this says this is my group. I may have been hacked. I definitely didn't start this group.
I
Do you
did
know who
post it
runs
on
that-
your, I did post it on your group, Stephen. I always do.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Arnie Danielson. This is 1 hour ago.
Yeah, that's yesterday's images. I haven't processed today's images yet, but this one here is from today.
Okay.
I think you live in the world's sunniest place.
Yeah.
I think Norway's known for that, isn't it?
I just can't believe it. The amount of sunny days that you have is just
Yeah,
incredible.
It's just on half an hour at a time, but yeah.
Oh.
No, it's been quite good actually. Both last year and this year has been pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to work this one out because all right, am I still sharing the screen? I don't need to be.
Yeah.
How do I stop? I don't even see Zoom anymore. Yeah, I'm a mess. I need an assistant. I need a full-time assistant. All right, so that's not your group then, Arnie. I'm sorry.
Don't have any group. No, sorry.
Well, I searched it and it said that I'm the administrator of it, and I have no idea what it is. I wonder if it's some new compilation Facebook is doing because it's just called Solar Photography, and I wonder if they're just grouping together posts based on content, and then they called it my group when I went over there with 2,900 members. I have never heard of it. I mean, I know about the group, but I thought that was your group. Anyway, disregard what I was saying about Arnie's great group on Facebook. He does not have a great group on Facebook, but maybe you should.
Maybe every person it says that you're the
Could
top
be.
top
Yeah,
person.
because I did not start that group. I have Sunlit Earth and Charlie Bates Solar Shorting Project. And what other one? Remember, Alexander? Darby, the story of trash and the people who threw it.
I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about Darby.
Is he still there?
Yeah, the group's still there. Darby does not exist any longer. He was destroyed a
Oh.
couple years ago, but
All right. Okay.
the group is still there. All right, so I just got to wrap it up from my wife, and I appreciate everybody coming in, and I'm sorry for the scheduling mix-up, and we will see you on the 10th of next month at 1800 GMT for a fascinating presentation from Sean Johnson of the ATL.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Adios,
great.
everybody.
Excellent. Take care all.
Bye.
See ya.
Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.